Ganandam everybody! I am here in Goa, India, representing my guru Sri Nityananda Swamiji at an international conference on Hinduism. Yes, my life is so cool. I have been learning so much here. I just had to share and make a video about it because basically it's just been so eye-opening and learning about Hinduism and what's happening to Hindus and Hinduism in the world today. And I just wanted to give a brief kind of overview because I feel like there's so much misinformation out there. 1, about India, 2, about Hinduism, and 3, about kind of the history of India and where all this source of violence in the country, the religious conflict, where it all comes from. And actually, I think it's safe to say, right? So Hinduism has been the established religion, and not just religion, but entire society, way of life, culture for thousands and thousands of years in India. And just only a couple centuries ago started all the violence, religious conflict, especially between Muslims and Hindus, between Christians coming in here, everything, right? Only centuries. In history, that's a small little blip. And Hinduism existed for so much longer than that. And India is one of the most non-violent countries in the entire world. The violence here compared to the rest of the world, within the country and with other neighboring states, with other countries in the world, is literally negligible compared to other countries. Why is this? Because the core tenet of Hinduism, of the entire belief system and culture, is non-violence, ahimsa. It is in the state of advaitha, oneness. We are all one. Therefore, any violence I commit against you or anybody else is only violence against myself. Therefore, I would never commit that violence in the first place. So from that state, the state itself, the nation itself, has been extremely nonviolent, extremely peaceful. A nation really in the front runner of world peace. And yet, all of this violence and horrible religious conflict has been occurring in the last couple decades. Why? Because 2 other religions entered the picture. That is Islam and Christianity. What is the problem here? I'm not here to debate that these religions are horrible or Hinduism is better than either. But what I am here to say is there is fact that there was no violence in this country. There was no gender conflict. There was no religious conflict until these religions entered the picture, because they run completely differently than Hinduism does. Why? Because Hinduism is based in the principles I told you, these religions are not based in those principles at all. They may have other great, beautiful principles as well, but the problem is they have one factor Hinduism doesn't: conversion. See, these religions have come in and started converting the country at a rapid rate. Why is it so easy? 1, many Indians are poor and in a vulnerable state. Christian missionaries target low-income communities, which this to me, like, honestly, 1, makes me really sad, and 2, pisses me off. They target low-income communities for conversion. They go to families in states like Tamil Nadu, where families are really poor, and they provide them food, water, and shelter to be Christian, to be part of a Christian mission. And of course, anyone would do that for survival, to take care of their family, for whatever reason. Like, it makes sense, it's logical. But the fact that, like, these religions are exploiting people like that is just pathetic and so sad and heartbreaking, because it's destroying the essence of the culture. See, I was raised Catholic, but the one thing I really disliked and never understood was, like, mission trips, conversion. I always thought, like, that's not right. Like, I am all for sharing what you believe, like I'm doing now, right? But to convert somebody, to try to convert somebody with that, like, being the intention, I think is innately wrong, and it comes from such a violent thought current and such a dual thought current. And Christianity has converted thousands of Hindus. And Hinduism, I'm going to make a video about this, but it's not just a religion. The only way we can explain it is through the word religion, but it is so much more than that. It is literally how Swamiji explains the science of living in reality. It's It's a comprehensive lifestyle, culture, way of life. It literally covers everything from the way you eat, dress, converse with one another, the way communities are based, how to construct a house, like literally every aspect of life. So it's not like any other religion where it's just a set of beliefs. It's not about beliefs. It's about all the aspects of life. So for a religion like Christianity, which is so new compared to Hinduism too, to come into a country like India, which has such a rich culture and heritage, and is literally just a parasite here, eating it from the inside out, just to up its numbers. And I just think that that is so sad. Like, I'm sorry, but that's not acceptable to do to another country. To come in and do that, it's so colonial. It's gentrifying, it's racist, and it's wrong. And then to get into Islam. Islam has created a whole other set of problems in India. See, violence against women, the negative appearance of the caste system, all these things which people tie to Hinduism is completely wrong. It literally entered the country only when Islam did. You can even look up on your own. I'm not saying this from a biased point of view. In all honesty, I researched this about 2 years ago, even before I was Hindu, and I researched on my own for a school project the state of women in India and how it all began. And I found, like, first Google pages I found immediately said those exact things, which were that none of this existed. This negative state didn't exist until a couple hundred years ago. I mean, a couple hundred years ago, when this Islamic state entered the country, and it twisted all of these beliefs and values into something completely different and new, and really distorted them and made them this negative thing in the country. And it's so sad. So I had to move location, but last thing I wanted to say is just like, learning about this has been so crazy, so eye-opening, and I thought that everybody should really know like what's really going on in India. Basically, the state of the country, the violence, so much of it ties into this conversion, the idea of conversion and religious conversion, and so much violence is in this thought current, and it's just so sad. And I just wanted to share a little bit about that and my experience here and learning about this. And thank you guys so much for tuning in, and please subscribe to my channel, and I'll talk to you guys as soon as possible. Thanks so much for listening. Nityananda.